Hello and welcome back to the channel, everybody. My name is Darksage Walker, and I ended up taking kind of an impromptu week off. I apologize for not letting anyone know ahead of time, but it was under the reasoning of my roommate had some time off, and and then we had his brother's wedding to go to. It was busy. So, I was going to record yesterday, it just ended up being a very, not even long, just an annoying day at work, and I'll talk about that more, but hey, let's not get too far off topic, let's go ahead and roll the soundtrack choice. Or, let's drop the die on the ground and have no idea where it went. That seems like the best choice. There it is. Alright, trying again. Well, it looks like it rolled classic soundtrack, and if my memory serves, if I roll classic soundtrack one more time, then I do a different choice, just all on my own. And that choice will be something other than the classic soundtrack, because that's what I've already been rolling. Alright, it has been a little while, and I know that I was doing the magnetic follow-up spotlight. I'm going to quick double check. I'm trying to see if there was another. Okay, just did that in Aqua Arc. Most of these I think will be iffy, but I do think Perforating Jet has some potential. I think the stones, well, I don't know, Fiery Yo-Yo might work, just because the stones don't have a huge amount of knockback themselves. And I think Bouncing Blaze will actually push the enemies out of range. So I think I will continue with the magnetic follow-up. I want to try Perforating Jet to see how well that works. And the fact of the matter is, it might not work well at all. I keep trying to make Perforating Jet work, and every time I just get further and further disappointed by the truth. But we're gonna try it again with Magnetic Follow-Up and see if that helps things out a little bit. For our dash, I think underline. And now for the signature. How about we just go full critical hit. How about that? Full crit. And since it's full crit with mostly all projectiles, we'll do it like that. Alright, so Perforating Jet and I have some history. I've been working really hard to try to get Perforating Jet to be good. As of right now, I have yet to actually get that to happen. Like, I've been working hard on that one, and I have yet to find the proper formula. So, who knows? Maybe this will be the moment where Perforating Jet finally ascends. Not gonna lie though, don't hold your breath for it. And yes, this time around I decided I just want to get Atlas out of the way. Alright, well, I'm noticing the exact same issues with Perforating Jet that I've noticed before. It's overall lack of damage, it's strange inconsistency with the number of hits. But part of that could be that I'm dealing with these, like, mortar ghouls who like to lob shots over the enemy's heads and into my face. So, any of these things could be a potential factor. And yes, as of right now, I'm still noting all the same issues with it. I'm really trying hard, but maybe... Oops. Believe it or not, I got right buttoned there. Now, I know I said I would only work with the ones that I knew were going to work well to showcase that, but this is one where I figured the potential is there. I would just want to try it. After this, I think I'm going to get back to the program that I had intended, which is going to be probably Spark Contact, Bolt Rail, and Chaos Crusher. I might make an exception for Fiery Yo-Yo and Bouncing Blaze, but I will set that up as a poll. I'll let you guys talk about that one. But I know Chaos Crusher, Spark Contact, and Bolt Rail are definitely next up on the list. Alright, and I'm seeing part of the problem here is that Perforating Jet scores so many hits, but they're all iffy hits, let's be fair. Alright, so I've got... Alright, so Water Prison might not be a bad idea, just for another ranged option to do a little extra damage and remove bigger threats from my face. That, and I just don't want Wind Salvo. See, I don't necessarily want Hammer of Atlas, because there's too many enemies that resist it. And I'm not looking to change my basic. I'm going to stick this one out, even if I end up not liking it. At the moment, it seems like that's probably the direction it's going. But Dark Sage, why would you use it if you knew it wasn't going to be good? Well, see, part of the issue there is that I didn't think it was going to be awful. Remember, I've been really trying hard to find a situation where Perforating Jet is, useful. So far, that hasn't happened. It's not that I'm going back on what I had planned out earlier. It's that this is my own stubborn quest to try to find out what works well with Perforating Jet, how to make Perforating Jet actually decent. Fortunately, it seems as though the universe is trying to tell me that such a thing isn't possible. Alright, maybe a little damage up will help. I'm maintaining hope because I really like, things that hit multiple times, even if it's for low damage, because in my mind, and I think I've kind of discussed this when talking about, fighting games and whatnot, but in my mind, more hits equals more damage. Now, obviously, we know that that's not entirely true. I know that's not entirely true. But my brain is going, yeah, more hits, more damage, baby. Let's do this. Then gets jumped on by a fucking golem. And to be fair, there are times in which that point of view is right. Okay, so we can level that up. Not that that really helps, it just means the whole thing is only slightly more consistent with not improving the damage. Okay, I saw what was about to happen there, but for some reason I couldn't react fast enough to stop it. I still maintain that there is hope for this Arcana, but I don't know where that hope rests. But let's be fair. At this point, the relics are doing more of the heavy lifting. And that's fine. In a lot of runs, you're gonna end up getting runs where the relics are almost more important than the rest of the run. And yes, I have every intention of going back and getting my robe enhanced. I just want to make sure I have enough money for the things that I'm trying to purchase. In this case, the magnetic follow-up upgrade, the robe upgrade, and a health potion. Now, I realize that I'm taking a bit of a risk on that, but there should be one more combat room, and that should be more than enough money for the magnetic follow-up upgrade. Going back to what I was saying earlier, like I said, we had gone to my roommate. Those of you who are a part of my Discord know that it's, D Fader. It was his brother's wedding, and it was nice. It wasn't like a church or a courthouse wedding. It took place at the local arboretum, actually, which is apparently where he and his wife first met, or went on their first date, actually, because they met somewhere very innocuous. And when I say somewhere innocuous, I mean apparently they met at Culver's. Which, I mean, food is something we all have in common. So I mean, hey, if both parties involved like Culver's, more power to you. I like Culver's. I think you'd be hard pressed to find someone who doesn't like Culver's unless they're just not a fan of burgers, which is totally possible. There's plenty of people out there that don't like burgers, but I'm getting off. I'm getting sidetracked, as I tend to do. The ceremony itself was short. The reception was planned to go until midnight. Which, yeah, no, I wasn't there for that because I openly admit that I was having problems and my anxiety had started to flare up. Oh, he's active again. I didn't even notice because of the water prison. I love Wavefront, but I'm going to stick with what I have. Water-based archers are just ruining me. It doesn't help that for some reason my controller does not want to aim in the direction that I'm telling it to aim. So yeah, it was nice and pleasant. There was just little parts of it that started to get under my skin and then started to cause an anxiety attack. So we ended up leaving around. And by then, the majority of things that people were interested in were done at around 8. Sorry, I had to go quiet there because I'm just getting stepped on here. Let this be a lesson to you: never underestimate water-based enemies. Okay, so I see 2 things here that I want, and 1 thing here that I need. I desperately need money. Okay, not going to be able to afford everything that I want. Ah, crap. Well, that didn't work. I maybe should have seen that coming, but... help. Oh my goodness, this is not working out well. Okay, well, regardless of my feelings on the situation, I have to give her one of these. Fractal Flare, which is probably for the best. I don't know why she took Fractal Flare. I've had Magnetic Breakers longer. She should have taken that. Yeah, what do I know? Whew. Okay, this floor has been punishing for me. And I pretty much have to spend the last of my money on a potion. Okay, my stubborn refusal to accept that Perforating Jet is trash is actually getting me into a lot of trouble right now. And that largely boils down to its, as I've said it multiple times, it's the spell's inconsistency and low damage element that really get it into trouble. Well, and also its narrow strike zone. Like the hitboxes would be enough of a problem in and of itself if it wasn't for just how low damage the spell really is. You'd think all the hits would make up for it, but for some reason it never does. Yeah, I know we have to. Option. Why does this Arcana get me into so much trouble? Like, instead of just accepting that it's a turd, I'm constantly doing my best to try to work with it. And you know, there are times in which that dedication would pay off, but it feels like every time I try it, I just get further and further sucked down into the abyss. Of course, he can do that move to shoot around cover. Oh, well, that was pointless. The other problem I'm having is just because of how Water Prison works, it is not a good choice for dealing with mooks on. Sorry, my brain isn't letting me remember things. It's not a good choice for dealing with mooks on a retro floor plan. So I feel like I really need something else to try to temper that salvo. We're taking that. Now see, what I would really like is the fiery paintbrush, but I feel as though it would probably be a good idea to upgrade the breaker. Yes, this is oddly difficult. I've already explained all the reasons why, but I don't know. Do you guys think I'm crazy for still trying to find ways to make Perforating Jet good? Vice versa, have you guys found a way to make Perforating Jet good? loaded dice. You've done me a great service on this day. And we're going up against Shu, where Perforating Jet will now become even less useful. Lord. I mean, Perforating Jet plus loaded dice is probably about the best that Perforating Jet is going to get. Jesus. And there's really nothing there that's going to... I mean, that might help. And this could actually keep enemies away from me since I am running a missile-based build. Alright, so insofar, and since we are getting toward the end of the run anyway, this seems like a good time to talk about my opinion of Perforating Jet plus Magnetic Follow-Up, which is, I think, against my better judgment, I feel as though what we've got here is something that would have potential. And I say would have if Perforating Jet in and of itself wasn't so lackluster. Like, again, it's I've kind of made it partially my personal mission to try to find a way to make Perforating Jet work, and every time I end up finding myself coming up short. Oh, I thought we were going to have an Evo 34 moment there. I tried to get it to work there, but... Alright, I guess where I'm going. Oh wow, I didn't realize that I hadn't gotten that upgraded. And apparently, I have yet to find the boss room. Good lord. Okay. Okay, I think I can actually breathe now. So I feel as though, again, the problem is Perforating Jet itself. It's not that the rocks aren't doing anything to add on to it. On the contrary, they're doing everything they can. Just that Perforating Jet is so bad. Like, I refuse to believe that it's absolutely useless, but it's definitely not good. Alright, I see things over there that I would like, but first... Alright, so what am I most likely to pick up? Probably the Adorable Mimic. Seems like the most consistent option. On the plus side, we're almost done with this run, and then I can get back to the ones that I think will actually be good. Like I said, I'll leave it up to you guys as to whether or not we experiment with some of the other ones. In the background, I'm sure you can hear the birds just kind of having the time of their lives over here. It's morning time, so they are doing what birds tend to do in the morning, which is, you know, talk and let everyone know that they made it to the night safe. I know it sounds silly, but that is absolutely what they're doing. Birds get active and loud in the morning because they want everyone to know, hey, we made it through another day. Little random factoid for you. Hopefully that comes up in a game of Trivial Pursuit, but if not, hey, I've now taken up some of your brain space that you can never get back. Welcome. Alright, let's go ahead and clear out the boss. Alright, that wasn't too bad, I don't think. Alright, so what am I willing to give up right off the bat? Alright, so let's put down everything here that I want to keep. And I'll take that with me as well. That I would actually probably want to hold on to. There we go. Beautiful. Now let's go grab back all the rest of this stuff. Grab that. Alright, and we are ready to depart. Oopsie. I mean, it was only 17 damage in the long run. I guess I shouldn't complain too hard. Oh, that was overkill. If. Okay, let's have one last. Have to. It simply has to be done. There are no other options. Would have been nice for this to show up earlier. It adds a fourth activation, which will hopefully actually help out with Magnetic Follow-Up. Oh, hello. Alright, so this... So, under the guise of... Under the guise of doing the Magnetic Follow-Up Spotlight, we just ran a loaded dice roll. Alright, not gonna lie, I'm surprised I made it through that. I was getting stomped on throughout a good chunk of that run. Like someone watching me fighting going, you spent most of that round on your back. And I'm going, yeah, that's just how I fight. So, in the long run, the Magnetic Follow-Up was definitely doing its best to try to hold up Perforating Jet, but Perforating Jet just has too many downsides to really be good. Like, I noted that when I was trying to use it with Field Berserk. I'm noting it here. So I wanted to try it. I wanted to, prove the stigma wrong, and all I did was reinforce it. So Perforating Jet plus Magnetic Follow-Up ends up falling squarely into a kind of low B, high C area, where, it's usable, but not good. So, sorry, Perforating Jet, and sorry to you guys for doing another one that ended up being disappointing. I thought I was going to get something out of it, and it just ended up being a mistake. I guess not a mistake. I'm glad I learned something, but I'm going to stick to the program from now on. So let me know what you guys thought about this. I'm curious to see if you guys would have done anything differently, if you reached the same conclusion that I did. And of course, now that I'm back to a normal schedule, you will be seeing me much sooner than before. So you guys take care of yourselves. Thank you for spending some of your free time with me, and I will catch you next time. My name is Darkseid Walker, and I